Hello students, so welcome to Vision Institute. So in this short video series we will be dealing with the most important topics with the NEET, JEE and boards in a quick and comprehensive way. So we have named this series as Quick Bite Series. So we will start with the topic in physics with motion of a car in a level road as well as in a bank road. So first we will do with the level road and then we will go for the bank road. Okay, so for level road, here we will come to know, like if a road is there and it's along the horizontal. Now here if a car wants to take a turn, so we will get to know what can be the maximum speed that the car can make this turn without skidding out of the road. Okay, so suppose if we assume this diagram, suppose our car is somewhere here, this is our car. Please compromise with the diagram. Okay, so just assume that this is the car, and if we consider this as the circular path, then we can consider this as our radius. So this is the radius, and then see, if this car wants to make this turn, now there has to be a centripetal force that will hold this car to move along this path. Okay, and that centripetal force will be provided by the static friction. So static friction will act along this direction. Fs we have considered as static friction. Now let us see what are the forces acting along it. So here the weight of the car will act towards the direction of gravitation, mg, weight of the car, and this is the normal which acts perpendicular to the plane. So this is normal, weight of the car, radius and static friction. Now see, here this normal, this balances the weight of the car mg. So we can write here n equal to mg. Now here what about static friction? We know static friction, it is mu s n. Mu s is the coefficient of static friction and n is the normal. So we can substitute from here, right? So it will be mu s mg. Now let us consider for centripetal force. So centripetal force, we know it is F equal to mv square by r. R is the radius, v is the velocity, okay, m is the mass. Now as I have already said that this centripetal force will be provided by the static friction, but there is a condition. This condition has to be satisfied for the car to move in this circular path without skidding, and that condition is that this centripetal force should not exceed the static friction. It can either be equal to static frictional force or it can be lesser than that, but it cannot exceed. So if that's the condition, it will be like this. According to the condition, we can write centripetal force will be smaller or equal to static friction. So centripetal force we can write as mv square by r, and then Fs we can write coefficient of static friction and mass into gravity. Okay, so here mass and mass can be cancelled. So what is remaining? We can write here v square is equal to mu s g and then the radius. So here we can take this square, it will change as square root mu s, this is mu, okay, g and r. So here what does it mean? This is the maximum speed that the car can apply to take a turn without skidding out of the road. So here we can see it depends on the coefficient of static friction, the gravity and then the radius. It doesn't depend on the mass of this vehicle. Okay, so this was for a level road. Now we have one more condition, and that will be a banked road. So for a banked road, so here we will discuss what can be the maximum velocity with which the car can take a turn without skidding in a bank road. But first of all, why we need a bank road? See, in a level road, this static friction might not be enough to hold the car along the path from skidding. because friction, it depends on external factors, like it can be a rainy season or the road can be slippery, and also if we want to increase the roughness, we can increase the roughness only up to a certain level. Okay, after that we can't increase more, or else there will be other consequences. So for that reason, what we can do, we can incline that road. Suppose before it was level road, now we can incline the road a bit from the horizontal plane. Now the car can move along this path. So let us see the diagram for this. Suppose this is the road and this is the horizontal plane. Now we have inclined this road with an angle theta. Okay, now the car is present somewhere here. Car is present somewhere here. Now let us see what are the forces acting along it. Okay, now here this weight of this car will be mg, it will be along the direction of gravity, and then the normal, what is normal? Normal always act perpendicular to the plane. Now our plane is this, not this. So if this is our plane, our normal will be perpendicular to this line, so it will be n here, and then this will be this static friction, it will act along this direction. So our static friction will act along this direction, it will be Fs. Okay, now see, now let us make components here for this normal and this static friction. Okay, so first let us go for this normal. This is our vertical component, this is our horizontal component. Okay, and for the static friction, this will be horizontal component and this will be the vertical component. Okay, so for this normal, this will be theta, so it will be n cos theta, and then this will be n sin theta. Same way we will do for this static friction. For static friction, one will be vertical component, one will be horizontal component. Since this is theta here, so obviously this angle will be theta here, because we know it's alternate angle, right? If this line and this line are parallel, since this and this are parallel, so this angle and this angle will be equal. So this theta will be equal to this angle, so this will also become theta. Now if this is theta, now it will be Fs cos theta, since angle is acting along this component, and this will be Fs sin theta. So I am extending this line so that I can have space for writing this. So it will be Fs, since theta is along this, cos theta, and this vertical component I will write here. Okay, this is for this Fs, so it will be Fs sin theta. Now let us see how these forces are. Now let us see how the forces balance each other. Okay, now we will consider this vertical component and this horizontal component. So for the first, let us see for the vertical component. So it is n cos theta equal to mg plus Fs sin theta. Okay, so let us take mg in one side, mg equal to, it will be n cos theta minus Fs sin theta. Okay, now let us consider this as equation 1. Now we will go for the horizontal component. Okay, now this horizontal component, it gives this centripetal force, so this will be equal to centripetal force. Okay, so centripetal force, we know it is mv square by r equal to Fs cos theta plus n sin theta. Okay, so here we will consider this as equation number 2. Now let us divide equation number 2 by 1. Then it will be mv square by r, that is divided by, okay, let me give this implied sign here, it is divided by mg here, and then this Fs cos theta plus n sin theta, it will be. this will be this downside denominator will be, it will be of equation 1. So n cos theta minus fs sin theta. Now let us see the cancellation portion. Here mass and mass will be getting cancelled. What it will end up with? V square by Rg. Now right hand side, this is Fs is static friction. We know that static friction it is, I'm writing here as a rough. Static friction, we know coefficient of static friction into the Norman. So if we substitute it here, we will get mu s n cos theta plus n sin theta, and here n cos theta minus mu s n sin theta. Okay, so we can take here common. So I'm continuing here. Okay, so if we take here common, it is a v square by Rg. If we take common, we can take common this n. So it will be n mu s cos theta plus sin theta. Okay, n cos theta, it will be common, so it will be only mu s sin theta. So this n will get cancelled. So this side it will be remaining with this. Now we will divide it with cos theta, dividing both the numerator and denominator by cos theta. If we do that, we will get cos theta by cos theta, and mu s is here, plus sin theta by cos theta. Here it will be cos theta by cos theta minus mu s sin theta by cos theta. So we will get here mu s plus tan theta, and then here it will be 1 minus mu s tan theta. Okay, so right side it is v square by Rg. What we can do, we can take this Rg to the right hand side, it will go to the numerator, it will be v square, and then here it will be mu s plus tan theta 1 minus mu s tan theta, and then Rg. Okay, so this square will go to the right side, it will become a square root. So mu s, this is mu, okay, mu s plus tan theta 1 minus mu s tan theta, and then Rg. So this is the maximum velocity with which the car can follow this circular path without skidding out of the road. Okay, so this is the maximum speed of the car that is possible to do that. Okay, so this is the final equation of the velocity, and for level road also we have done. So question might come here for numericals, they will provide you this coefficient of static friction and all, and they might ask you to find the velocities. So this is the process to do that. Okay, fine. So we'll end up here. Thank you.